everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea here and I'm so excited today because we are going to be reviewing the new Juvia's Place foundation and the new concealer. But before we get into the video, I just want to say welcome to everybody who's watching my video. If this is your first time watching my video, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I hope that you do enjoy it, and I hope that if you do enjoy it, you will click the subscribe button down below and become a part of our little family here on YouTube. And if you are a returning subscriber, you already know that I'm so grateful for you being here, for you watching my videos, and for your constant support to my channel. So let's get right into the video. So like I said, we have the Juvia's Place foundation and concealer. I have them outside of the box. So this is the I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation. I have mine in the shade, I think it's pronounced Kampala. It's 340. This is completely my wrong shade. I'll show you. And then we have the concealer. I have mine in the shade J13. This actually is a really good match for me, and you'll see that as well. A little bit about the foundation. It comes in 42 shades, and the Juvia's Place website says that it's for all skin complexions. I think what's really neat about Juvia's Place and how they number their foundations and their concealers, the lowest number is for the deepest complexion and the higher number is for the lighter complexions, which I think is pretty neat. So they reverse their numbering system for complexions. Same thing with the concealer. So let's just get into putting this on my face, and I'll talk as I put this on my face. I'm going to use the Revlon PhotoReady primer to conceal my pores. That'll be the only primer that I'll use for today. Okay, so like I said, the shade that I have, Kampala, if that's how you pronounce it, is totally too dark for me. I will do a swatch on my hand so that you can see it. So that's the foundation there. It is too dark, but I can make it work. But one thing that I must say is this foundation is crazy full coverage. And when I say full coverage, watch. So you all can see my freckles. They're pretty prominent. So I'm going to take this much foundation, if you can see it, and I'm just going to apply it on my face here. And, oh, here we go. I have my damp beauty sponge. This is what I've been using to apply the foundation. This would be my third time wearing it. So I've worn it 2 times before just to get a feel for it. And like, where are my freckles? If I wanted to build this up to completely cover my freckles, I can. And I have never had a foundation completely cover up my freckles. So here we go. Where are my freckles? I have freckles on this side, no freckles on this side. Insane. The coverage is insane. So like I said, this foundation obviously is too dark for me, but I just want to show you how far this foundation can go. So you saw how much I put on this side. Watch how I can spread this across the rest of my face. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the same in coverage on this side as this side, but I can now, of course, shear it out. And now you can see some of my freckles coming back because I'm shearing it out. But I just wanted to show you the coverage is there. So if you're somebody who loves full coverage, this foundation will make you so uberly happy because the coverage is insane. Now, I have ordered my, what I think is my correct shade. Based on one review that I saw, and also based on the shade finder on the Juvia's Place website, it said that I was either shade Nairobi or Punta Cana, and based on the description I chose Punta Cana, so we'll see if that's the correct shade for me. I hope it is, because unfortunately Juvia's Place does not accept returns or exchanges. So when I ordered this particular shade, I did not see a shade finder on their website, or I definitely would have used it to at least match my shade a little bit better. But I wanted to get this review up and out. So here we go. So obviously I've sheared it out, so of course my freckles are coming back. But if I wanted to conceal my freckles completely, as you saw, you can conceal it. I just would have to add more foundation, but I was totally blown away with the coverage of this. All right, so I'm gonna take this off and show you how I can wear this foundation without it looking like Like, it's too much for my face. Okay, so like I said, my face is fresh again. I went back in with my Revlon Pore Reducing Primer, and now I'm going to put the foundation on the way that I can actually wear it out in public, because the way I had it before was way too dark. So to actually wear this foundation, and I think this is helpful too for people who might end up getting the wrong shade, especially if it's too dark and you still want to wear it, you don't want to have to spend another $20-some to purchase it. This could be something to help you get use out of it. So I literally put just the smallest amount on my finger and I dot it over my face. As you saw in my previous demo, this foundation is very, I can't think of the word right now, but it has the ability to spread. Spreadable, is that a word? Sorry if I'm making a word up. My friend used to always laugh at me because she's like, you make up so many words. If it sounds right, is it really made up? This foundation spreads very well, and I'm going back in, but I'm literally going back in with like the smallest amount because I don't want to make it too dark. So you don't need to use a lot to get decent coverage out of the foundation. Another thing that I like about it, like I said before, I've worn this foundation twice. Both times that I wore it for 8+ hours, so I did get a full day's wear test. I have a damp beauty sponge, and it does hold well under heat. So Sunday when I wore it, I went to a cookout. I was outside, I was sweating, and of course I was sweating when I was dabbing my face. Foundation was coming off, but at the end of the night when I looked at my face, I had no patches on my face. I had like no streak marks of the foundation to where you know, I could tell like it was running on my face or anything like that. And I was really impressed because it's not always the case with foundations, especially when you're in the heat. And I think because this is a more matte foundation, I had the expectation that it would hold up pretty well under the heat, but you just never know, you know, because, you know, heat is one thing, sweating and humidity in heat is a whole nother thing. And where I live, it gets quite humid as well. So it blends really well into the skin, and as you can see, the shade is still a little too dark for me, but this is much more wearable than how it was before. Okay, so the foundation is blended out into my skin. I think it looks really good. Another thing that I like about this is that even though the foundation is matte, it is more of a soft matte. So I have pretty normal skin and it's not drying on my skin. Foundations like the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Fenty Beauty foundations, those tend to be too dry for my skin, and I need to mix it with some type of oil to not make it as matte. This is really a soft, comfortable matte to where I don't feel like I need to add oil to the product, and I don't think it looks drying on the face either. Another thing that I like about this foundation, I guess I'm kind of giving away my feelings about it, is that I can put it all over my face and it doesn't dry down before I blend it out. So I don't have to worry about like, oh man, I blended out this side and now this side's gonna be really hard to blend out because I did this side first. So the description of it being a soft matte is, I think, very accurate, and I really like it. So far, in wearing this the 2 full days that I did, I could easily see this being a go-to foundation, especially for the hot summer months coming up, because like I said, I was outside, it was over 90 degrees, I was sweating, it was hot, my face still looked really good at the end of the evening after I was done sweating and, you know, things had cooled off. So I really like this foundation. I'm excited for the other shade to come into the mail so that I can wear it more full coverage to see how that wears, because I haven't worn it full coverage because I can't. But I think that's also good about the product, is that there's versatility with it. So I can wear it pretty sheerly like I have it on today, or you can build it up for more coverage. I would assume that the product being built up more would still wear very well. I have watched a couple other reviews of this foundation, and the people that wore it built it up really nicely and it wore well throughout the day. So I think this will wear pretty nicely, even if it's built up to its more full coverage. But I do like a foundation that has the ability to be versatile, and I can wear it very full coverage, or I can wear it very sheerly. Like I said, if you get a shade that's too dark, you don't want to pay the extra money to order another one, apply it in very small amounts. Use a beauty sponge so it can soak up some of the excess product, and you can still get good wear out of it. Onto the concealer. So like I said, I have mine in the shade J13, and on my Instagram page I did some swatches comparing this shade to other shades, like the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, the Magic Concealer from Charlotte Tilbury. I compared it to the L'Oreal Full Wear Concealer, ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and one other. So if you go to Instagram, my handle is GlamGirlChelsea. You can take a look at those swatches there to see if J13 would be one that could work for you. This has the doe foot applicator, very similar to the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, Tarte Shape Tape. I like this shade, actually. It's not too light. I don't like a very stark under eye, and I do like this concealer as well, so let me tell you why. So first of all, it blends very well into the skin, and let me tell you, Aunt Flo came to slay, and of course that means she slayed my face with her presence, so I'm gonna have to go back in and cover that up a little bit. That's no fault of the concealer, that's just my acne. Alright, blends very well into the skin. Let's move on. And it's got good coverage as well, very good coverage. As you'll be able to see when I go to blend the concealer under my eye, you'll see that it does conceal my freckles as well. Not completely, but it will conceal them a little bit. And this concealer hardly creases. I say hardly because I think all concealers crease to some extent, especially if you've worn them for a while. But there's so minimal creasing from this concealer, like very minimal creasing. I wore this concealer the same day that I was outside in the heat and I was sweating. The concealer looked so good at the end of the day. It actually looked like it hadn't budged at all. And I was like, this is good. I did set the concealer, so I don't know I don't know the wear of it without setting. But this is not an overly hydrating concealer. It's not too dewy. So I would imagine that if you don't like to set concealer, you may not have to because it's not overly dewy. As you can see, I think it does do a really good job of concealing my under eyes. Now I don't have any dark circles, so I'm sorry. But I do think it can conceal dark circles, and I'm just going off of my freckles on my face. If I were to build it up more, then I know that I can get more coverage. I just don't like for my under eye concealer to be too thick, so I don't put on a lot. But I think it's really smooth and creamy. I love the texture of it, and like I said, I would actually wear this without setting it if I were going for a very minimal makeup look. Because I don't feel like it's one of those concealers that would crease very quickly, and I feel like the creasing that could happen could be so minimal that you could just take your finger, dab it out, and keep it moving. It's not, like I said, it's not dewy, but it's not overly dry. It's very comfortable under the eyes, and I really think the foundation and concealer really complement each other very, very well. So let me finish off my face and then we'll just close out this video. I'm back. So everything that's on my face, I will link it down in the description box below. But yes, this is the finished product of the foundation and the concealer. Some things that I do want to highlight. The 2 times that I wore it before, I typically get creasing in my fine line right here. And at the end of the day, especially the second time I wore it when I was outside in the heat, I had very minimal creasing, which I was very impressed with because most foundations do settle into this fine line right here. Some foundations more than others, and the foundations that settle more, it obviously looks more accentuated, especially if I'm not talking at all. So I was very impressed that even with me sweating, it settled very finely and graciously in that fine line. It didn't look over exaggerated or anything like that. Another thing is, like I told you all, I have pretty normal skin, but the acne bumps that are on my chin are starting to crust over. So in terms of it grabbing onto dry patches, it's only slightly clinging to the dry patches that are surrounding my acne bumps, but it's nothing that's accentuated. I don't think you all can see it in the camera. If you can, let me know, because obviously you're gonna see something a little different than what I can see, but I'm looking in my mirror far away and I don't see the foundation grabbing on it. This acne scar was bigger over the weekend. It's drying up, thank God. And I didn't notice it like clinging to it. When I actually built the foundation up to be more full coverage, it literally covered my acne, and I was like, I even showed my husband, I was like, look at this, and he's like, it's not the right shade. I'm like, you're focusing on the wrong thing. But even he was like, dag, like that covered up pretty good. So obviously I didn't apply it that heavily today, but it does go to show that even for dry complexions, I think this would be still a good foundation that you could wear. Dry skin types, not complexions, dry skin types. I think if you're really dry, you would just probably wear this without setting it. I honestly would wear this foundation without setting it if I knew it wasn't going to be extremely hot outside, because I do use a setting spray throughout doing my makeup. So today I used the Olay Mist Ultra Hydration Essence. It's the energizing one. And I've used this and only this one the past 2 times that I've worn it, and it works well with it. So I use a setting mist or a hydration mist to, you know, make sure that my face is not too dry. But if you had drier skin, probably, like I said, you could just apply it, use a nice moisturizing primer, and you probably wouldn't have to set it. If you're oily or combo skin, I think you're gonna love this foundation because it's going to be comfortable, but I think it'll also be matte enough for your preferences. And of course, you can always use your powder to set it. I powdered my face, I powdered my under eyes as well. And this is my finished product. I'm so happy with this, and I'm so happy for Juvia's Place, because when I found out about Juvia's Place, I want to say I first heard about them 3 years ago, and let me get it for you all because you have to see this. The first product that I fell in love with by Juvia's Place is the Juvia's Place Nubian palette. Y'all, she is beat up. She is so beat up. And I love it. And I have 8 of their eyeshadow palettes, 1 of their blush palettes, and 1 of their blushes, and counting. So I really love Juvia's Place, and I was really rooting for the foundation and the concealer. So I'm so thankful that I do like them, that they work for me. And like I said, when I get the new shade, I'll definitely make sure that I'll use it in a video so that you can see it on my face. And of course, I'll update you the more I wear this if anything were to change. But honestly, I'm pretty spot on with the products that I like and the products that I don't like. And I think we got a winner here. So if you've been interested in this foundation, definitely check them out. You can purchase them from Juvia's Place right now, and then they will be available in Ulta stores and Ulta websites. I think it's June the 5th. I'll confirm that date and I'll link it down below. And I think that is it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on how you think the foundation and concealer look on my face. Let me know if you've bought it and how you like it. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments down below. Thank you again for watching this video, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye guys.